that the foundations of our country were somehow evil. For example, the 1619 Project is a CRT version of history. It's supported by the New York Times. They want to teach our kids that the American Revolution was fought to protect slavery, and that's false. We know why the American Revolution was fought. They wrote pamphlets. We saw them dump tea into the Boston Harbor. We saw them meet in Philadelphia, and we have the records of why they revolted against King George III. And so it was the American Revolution that caused people to question slavery. No one had questioned it before we decided as Americans that we are endowed by our Creator with unalienable rights and that we are all created equal. Then that birthed abolition movements. So you can't teach history that's being used to pursue an ideological agenda.
So I'm going to use Wikipedia just because it gave a bunch of references really quickly that you could look up and read. But in 1772, a Britain court found that slavery is not in English law, and it should not be part of English culture. It's not recognized by England, which they started freeing slaves, and at that point started their own abolitionist movement, which America was like, nah, fuck that, we're keeping our slaves. And I know some of you guys are going to be diehard, be like, oh, the Boston Tea Party, they dumped tea because the tax was too high. Why didn't they do the same thing with wool? Because the tax on wool was even higher. Guess they didn't want to freeze. And the fact that Ron DeSantis says you can't teach history with an agenda, but then he confuses the Revolutionary War with the Civil War, that's not by accident. Also, Haiti, Mexico, England, and France all ended slavery well before the U.S. did. So there's that.